Hello there, everyone. Welcome to our third mini-sode for Comic Books The New Class. I am Krayley, one half of Phoenix Sisters Cosplay. I am here today with my good buddy Ryan. We're going to talk about our most recent conventions that we went to. Okay? So, get ready to hear our stories. And if we forget to ask you later, tell us about your most recent convention too, because we want to know how you're doing. Stuff was shut down for so long. We can finally go see people again. Like, I get tired of people. It's too people-y out there for me sometimes, and I started to miss people, especially my convention people. Those are my people. That's where I meet some of my best friends. That's like where I make connections to meet other people, even online, like my friend Ryan here. I wouldn't know Ryan if I hadn't met my Phoenix sister Kelly at a convention. She hadn't gotten us involved in a bunch of podcasts. Boom. Now I'm close friends with Ryan here. Ryan, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well. It's good to be back here with you, and it's good to be back to jumping into conventions and all that stuff and seeing people buying stuff, supporting the vendors that are out there, and meeting some of the biggest stars of the entertainment industry. So, yes, it feels so good to be back.
All right. Great. So, Ryan, you were at Shore Leave. Was it last weekend?
Yes, it was Shore Leave 42 in Hunt Valley, Maryland this past weekend, July 15th to the 17th of this summer, 2022. I was there with it was me and my three fellow members of Neuroculture. Caroline was there, Ruth was there, Nick was there, myself, the four of us, the Fantastic Four, if you will. Travis and Greg could not be there due to other commitments, but the four of us were there and we had a blast. It was a lot of fun. We met some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. Bought some swagger, bought some stuff while I was there. They bought a few things while they were there. So it was a lot of fun. It really was. It was great to be
Good.
back. It was great to be back.
Good. All those beautiful people that I want to meet someday. I want to meet you in
It's
person someday soon. We're going to go to a con together at some point.
we should
We're going to do it.
we absolutely should. We should make this thing a reality and make it happen. We always keep chitter chattering about it, but it hasn't happened as of yet. But hopefully one of these days it will eventually come to pass. So with that being said, some of the things that we saw and we met and we bought at Shore Leave 42, some of the people that I saw while I was there. I saw Brandon Routh, who portrayed Superman in Superman Returns from 2006. He portrayed Ray Palmer the Atom in CW's Arrowverse for DC's Legends of Tomorrow. The guy was in NBC's action dramedy known as Chuck with Zachary Levi. Speaking of DC alumni, I mean, Zachary Levi is playing Shazam, so there you go. Brandon Routh has been in so many different things within the nerd realm. He's done other things as well outside of it. He was in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He was in Hallmark movies featuring cats and kittens. Yes, featuring cats and kittens. That is true. They had a print of that at his booth. I believe it was the 9 Lives of Kittens or the 9 Seasons of Kittens. I can't remember the exact title. I apologize. If you know what I'm talking about, let us know in the comments, okay? Because I'm probably wrong here. See, there it goes. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct
I'm
me if I'm
probably
wrong.
wrong. So Brandon Routh was very nice. He was a very nice guy. I asked him what were some of his favorite sequences to film within Superman Returns. He said that he enjoyed filming the scenes that him and Parker Posey, who works with Lex Luthor in that movie, were involved in. So Parker Posey's character. So he enjoyed that, and then I got him to sign a autograph, or not an autograph, but an art book filled with incredible artwork done by Brian Roll of Odyssey Art, and I had him sign his page of Brandon Routh as Superman from 2006 Superman Returns. He signed it. It was great. It was wonderful. So Brandon Routh, very nice guy. Definitely say hi to him if you're at a convention. Very approachable, nice dude, likes to hear from the fans, and he's active on social media, so there's nothing wrong with that either. That helps. So Brandon Routh, we saw Brandon Routh. I also saw who was I'm trying to think of who the other person. Yes, Eddie McClintock of Warehouse 13. This guy is funny, hilarious, and he loves meeting and embracing the fans, hearing what they have to say, hearing their stories about whatever it is that they enjoy about nerdom. Eddie McClintock is a big nerd himself, so he knows what we're talking about here, right? So he portrayed Pete Latimer on Warehouse 13, which was a Sci-Fi Channel original series that I believe ran from 2009 to 2013. I want to say this was actually my second time seeing him because he was at Shore Leave a couple years ago, and here he is again in 2022 on Shore Leave 42. Ironically enough, a lot of twos being involved in these conventions, Crayley. Let me tell you. Eddie's a great guy, very great guy, very nice. And I got a print, an 8x10 print from his booth, signed from Warehouse 13. Because I actually mentioned to Eddie, I said, hey, First time I met you was some years back, and this was at Wizard World in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And my friend and I were sitting up. We were sitting up against a wall. We were taking a bit of a break, lunch break, Crayley. And he's
Mm-hmm.
about 30 feet away from us, and he's walking towards his booth after taking a break. And I yelled to him. I said, "Hey Eddie, what's up?" And then he walked all the way over to us and said, "Hey, what's going on, man? How are you? You enjoying the con?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's good to see you. How are you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well." So Eddie, it's great to see you at Shirley 42. He was a very great guy, awesome stuff. And one of the other actors that I met there was I believe it was John Billingsley. Has been in a number of different things over the years. He's famous for playing the Doctor, I believe, on Star Trek Enterprise, which was like one of the later series of the Star Trek series. But I remember him best as playing Che in a film starring Denzel Washington, Eva Mendes, Dean Cain, Sana Lathan. He plays the medical examiner known as Che in this movie, Out of Time. I believe it came out in 2003, 2004. It was one of the two. And he was like the witty banter. He was the comic relief character in this movie. Che, John Billingsley. Fabulous guy. First time I ever met him, he was great. He was very enthusiastic about meeting each and every fan that came by his table, and he was just a down to earth guy. He was, he just answered all your questions. He was very approachable. This is the thing about conventions: when you meet these celebrities, most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're very easy to talk to. They're just regular people. Yes, they're actors. Yes, they have a profession, but they're just regular people like us, and they're giant nerds too. I mean, John. I asked John. I said, "What was it like working on Out of Time?" He's like, "Oh, it was great working with Carl Franklin, shooting it down in Miami, and working with Denzel and all these other actors. It was great, man. We had a great time. It was fantastic." I was like, "That's awesome." And then later on in the convention weekend, I came back to him. I said, "You guest starred on 2 episodes of a hit drama series known as Suits on the USA Network. What was that like?" He says, "Well, I've known Gabriel Macht for a long time. He and I are old friends, and co-star Patrick J. Adams. I knew him from doing some theater up in New York. So it was great to work on that show because I already knew some of the people that were involved. And like, you're like good friends with Gabriel Macht. I had no idea." So fantastic stuff. John Billingsley was a great guy. Another person that we met when we were there. This woman, I never heard of her before. I never met her before until this weekend at Shirley 42. Well, actually, no. But this is a little bit different. So this
Oh.
one, I know you're losing my line here, pal. I'm losing my mind. The other person, excuse me. So yeah, I can't say anything more. What's the other picture that we have? I thought I sent you the other one. If not, we can go back to the other one. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not there.
I've got your autographs. It's not here. That's probably on me, everybody.
The
I
redhead isn't there. There's no redhead.
No.
There's no redheaded actress that. Okay. I thought I sent you
Well,
pictures of it. No.
I'm sure you sent me pictures of everyone.
Oh
I'm
God.
sure I missed it.
Okay. Well, you
Okay.
could go. All right. Well, this is where Ryan comes in and says, "Sorry, we made a bit of a mistake. Let's go to the other picture now." Okay. Moving on. So
You can still tell us about the redheaded actress that you met. I
okay.
mean, it's like a mystery now. Who
I
is
wish
this
we had a
mystery?
picture of this. I'm sorry.
Red-
I thought I sent this to my producers ahead of time, but apparently I must have missed track. So Bonnie Gordon was the voice of the ship's computer on Star Trek Prodigy. She does a band called Library Bard. She's a hardcore D&D fan. She likes to sing. She likes to voice act, all kinds of stuff. Bonnie Gordon is fantastic. Look her up on social media. I think it's Bonnie Bell G on Twitter, Twitter, on Instagram, something like that. Look her up. She was fantastic. And then the picture that came up before I made a mistake in saying this person has red hair. No, she doesn't. But the other person again, this is the thing about these minisodes. You never know what you're going to get. So this woman here is a sci-fi fantasy writer by the name of Mary Fan, who is a member of Crazy 8 Press. You visit them online at crazy8press.com. Mary Fan is dressed up as Fennec Shand from the Book of Boba Fett. This is what she is cosplaying as. Crayla, are you familiar with this?
Oh yeah, Fennec Shand is like I have like a whole. Oh, we talked about her a bit in your Boba Fett recap when
Giddy
we were
up. There
talking
you go.
about.
So you know where I'm going
Mhm.
with this. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Mary Fan loves Star Wars as much as I do. Maybe more so. And she dressed up as Fennec Shand, and this is me and her. We've known each other for years, but we've never taken a selfie. We've never taken a selfie together. All these years, we never took a selfie. I was like, you know what? It's the last day of the con. It's Sunday. Let's take a picture. And she says, absolutely, let's do it. So we took a picture together. This is myself and Mary Fan. Great, great person. Check out her stuff. Go to crazy8press.com. Follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Astral Cult. That's how you find her on Twitter and Instagram. Sorry. And she's great. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful person. She's a great geek to geek and slash nerd out with because she knows a lot of stuff. And she was on our Book of Boba Fett recap show, which you can find on our Nerd Culture channel. Simply at It's Nerd Culture. Hashtag always promote all your stuff, Grayly. Promote everything. Not just this, but promote everything else. Sorry.
And
I'm
your
getting a little bit
friends.
ahead of myself.
That's
So yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
okay.
So Mary Fan is
And
great.
our next photograph here, is this a cosplayer you saw
This
who
is a
just looked really
cosplayer.
awesome?
This is a cosplayer. I forget the person's name. I apologize, but he dressed up as the Mandalorian from the hit series known as The Mandalorian.
If you know
And if
who
you
this
go,
is, tell us in the
yeah,
comments.
let us
If
know.
it's
But I
you,
will
let us
say this.
know.
I will say this. The woman in the background there, that is Kelly. Go to @Designs by Kelly on Instagram. You can find her there, and that's, I believe it's her husband. If not her boyfriend, I can't remember which one it is. I'm so sorry, Kelly. I'm so sorry. So look her up at @Signs by Kelly on Instagram. They do great wall and room decor is what her arts and crafts business is. So definitely check her out on Instagram. But this is her boyfriend slash husband. I'm not sure which one it is. I'm so sorry. But he's dressed up as a Mandalorian. So this is the way. There you go.
All right. We've
So he was great.
also
Yeah,
got photos
this is
of
the
the
8x10 that was
autographs.
signed by Eddie McClintock from Warehouse 13. It says, "For Ryan, good to see you again, Pete. Eddie McClintock 2022. Beautiful stuff. Great print. Really good." And then this is the autograph I got from John Billingsley from This is a print from the movie Out of Time, and he actually told me that no one really ever buys this print from me at my booth. I have it at all my conventions, and no one has really touched it. And I said, "Hey, I'm more than happy to buy this print from you because I love the movie Out of Time, starring you and Denzel Washington." It says "For Ryan" with X's and O's from the witty band, because I said he was the witty banter comic relief band in the movie. So he just wrote, "Hey, to Ryan from the witty banter man, John Billingsley." Isn't that funny?
That is funny. It's
Yeah,
witty.
it is, isn't it? So, so there's that. There's that. So those are some of the autographs. Those are some of the people that I met. Those are some of the cosplayers that I saw. This is what Brandon Routh signed. And by the way, this piece of artwork you see right here before you, Crayley, this is from
Mm-hmm.
@Odyssey Art. Brian C. Roll of Odyssey Art. Look him up on Facebook. Look him up on Instagram @Odyssey Art. Follow, check out his website, odysseyart.net. To Ryan Best, Brandon Routh. This is his digital artwork of Brandon Routh as the character of Superman from the film Superman Returns. So how about that?
All right. We're also going to show off 2 photos of the swag Ryan got. It's more than 2 things, but we've only got 2 photos to show you here. We're at like 12 minutes.
It's
Are you bored
okay.
of us yet? I'm sure you're not. We're fascinating people. All
We
right.
try we
Here's
try to be. So this is from @Signs by Kelly, Halcyon Designs. They make wall and room decor, and this is one of the ones that she made. It's the Armorer's Forge, Beskar specialization. This is the way. Basically, it's Mandalorian swag. And it's something you can hang on your wall, something you can put on your door or something in your house, whatever. I have it on the back of my door. So there you go. That's that. So definitely check them out.
my husband would be so jealous. He would love that.
Okay, well, you need to follow them. Follow them on Instagram @Signs by Kelly. Okay?
Will do.
Anyway, so these are the books that I bought at this convention known as Shorely 42. And these aren't comic books, these are books, words on a page type stuff. I don't know if you ever heard of those things, Rayleigh, but
What? Never.
what? Maybe, maybe not. So we got some books here written by Richard C. White. We got Phenomenons by the team over at Crazy A Press, as well as many other writers. You got Fractured Lives which is the second in the series of Angela Hardwick, written by Russ Colchimiro of Crazy A Press. You also have Star Trek: The Next Generation, Collateral Damage, written by David Mack, and Star Wars: Master and Apprentice by Claudia Gray. I have heard nothing but great things about both Star Trek's Collateral Damage, written by David Mack, and Star Wars: Master and Apprentice, written by Claudia Gray. I actually met Claudia Gray a few months ago. So the next time I see her at a convention, I'll have her sign my copy of Master and Apprentice, because I read the first few chapters of this and then I put it down and never got through it. Kind of like with you, Crayley. You started reading Daredevil and then you just never got around to it. So I know I had problems. So I look forward to reading more of this because Master and Apprentice, I really liked the first couple of chapters of this book. So these are some of the swag items and books and other things as well that I bought at Shorely 42. If you want more information about this convention that's held every summer in the month of July in Hunt Valley, Maryland, go to www.shore-leave.com. There you go. So Crayley, I'm curious, what was your most recent convention and what are some of the people or swagger that you had a chance to buy? Because Lord knows I've talked enough.
Oh, I mean, I could listen to you for at least another 30 seconds. I had you going in the first half there. All right. My most recent convention was Fan Expo Chicago. Couple weekends ago, I went with my dear friends Mark and Ruby. This is the first convention I've gone to that I wasn't working because I have this little side business called Pokeballs by Crayley. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. #always be promoting. Ryan, are you sick of me yet?
No, 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 no. I just had to take care of something really quick, but I'm good now. So yes, Fan Expo Chicago over in the Windy City with them Bears. So what
Right.
celebrities or what kind of swagger did you get for yourself?
Well, so celebrities wise, the whole reason I chose this convention to go to
Mhm.
as my first non-working convention where I was like, I
Yeah.
just need to go, is because several members of the cast of DC Stargirl were going to be there. I am a huge JSA fan, the Justice Society of America. Lots of stuff in the JSA written by Jeff Johns, one of my favorite writers. And Jeff Johns also, if you didn't know this, he created the character of Stargirl and he's the showrunner for the live action television show. So he was going to be there. Breck Basinger was there. Joel McHale was there. Miss Monreal, whose first name I just forgot. If you remember who plays Yolanda slash Wildcat on DC Stargirl, drop
Let
it in
us
the
know.
comments because I'm forgetting her first name. Her last name is Monreal. She corrected Joel McHale several times because he kept calling her Montreal. And she was like, no, that's not how you say it. And he was like, that's how I say it. Joel McHale is funny and weird, by the way.
Hmm.
Um, and then at the last moment, Angelica, last name. I was so excited to see these people, and now I'm like, but I don't know their names. This is what happens. Anyway, the person who plays the new Doc Midnight.
Mhm.
Um, all on one panel. I just I was so excited. Okay. And so I put on my Stargirl costume, which I'm going to show to you now. Um, this is in front of the Clan McDonald's comics. That's a
Oh
local
my,
it's a
that's
local comic
awesome.
book shop in Chicago. You should totally go.
That's
Um,
awesome.
I took the photo here because my husband's last name is McDonald. Soon my last name will be McDonald, you know. And
How
so
ironic.
I was like, hey, I'm a new member of the Clan McDonald. And they gave me a bunch of free stickers. So I have to tell you, this was the convention of free stuff for me because I went to the panel.
Mhm.
And first of all, something really special happened where they were told that they didn't have time for questions. And with 4 minutes left, they were like, we have 4 minutes left. We're going to take 4 questions. And since I had this giant staff, I held that up instead of my hand. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure that's the reason I got called on. So Joel McHale is like, you over there with the hockey stick, and Breck Basinger, who played Stargirl, and I at almost the same time and way said, excuse me, that is the cosmic staff. Like almost like Jinx, you owe me a soda moment right there.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I was like, well, this question was going to be for Breck Basinger and Joel McHale, but you made fun of my staff. So now my question is only for Breck. And he was like, you thought that was mean?
Mhm.
Like, apparently he can have a mean sense of humor sometime.
Mhm.
So I asked if Breck ever found herself talking to the staff like another character, even when the cameras weren't rolling, because the cosmic staff has a mind of its own. It's one of my favorite characters. And Breck said that yes, sometimes she does, and also talked about how like her posture changes and how much she's really enjoyed playing the balancing act of treating this inanimate object, or sometimes it's just a light bar that they CGI the staff over, depending on what stunts they're doing, like it's a real character of the show. And Joel McHale just said he likes to mess with the stunt people because the props cost $7,000 a piece, and it makes the prop people nervous.
Mhm.
um, and so as I was walking in before that happened, though, they were giving, I think they were counting every so many people and giving them a red ticket, but they pulled me aside after I had already gone in and gave me this little red ticket. And they're like, they'll tell you what this is for later. I'll tell you, there was only one other Stargirl cosplayer in the room, and she also got a red ticket. I watched somebody because I was looking at her staff prop, it was a little different than mine, and just happened to see them give her the ticket.
Mhm.
And I was like, well, I feel like we got singled out of line separately. They came after us because we're wearing the costumes. Like, I really wonder what this ticket is for. The ticket was at the end, they had a lineup for a special signing of every member of the cast who was there and Jeff Johns to all sign free promotional posters that they just gave us. Again, totally for free. Like, I was already planning on getting like one signature because I'm not made of money. Okay. And
Mhm.
that many signatures sometimes you're talking over $300 once you get up to that point. I couldn't afford it, so I was going to get Breck's signature. I got everyone's signature. It was amazing. I have a picture of it. I have framed it
Oh
already.
my
That was
gosh, you already
not long
framed
ago.
it? Jeez.
Yes.
You didn't waste
Um,
any time on this one.
and of course, since it's a promo picture, it wasn't a standard frame size, so I had to
Mhm.
put it in a larger frame. It's in a stairwell where the only light is too close to it. I wanted to put it where
Mhm.
people are going to walk past it all the time, but it does make it hard to photograph. So,
Yeah, there's a bit of glare there, but yeah, but it
oh
looks
yeah.
great. And congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. So this was a convention of lucky stuff for me
Lucky
because
stars.
lucky stars, right? So I got to ask a question. They weren't even supposed to be taking questions, and I got to ask a question. The moral of that story is always go to a panel dressed as the main character of the TV show if you're going to a TV show panel. Like, you may get special treatment, okay? Because the
Mhm.
other Stargirl, we took pictures when we were in the line. They're on my friend Mark's phone, and I don't have it with me, but we took pictures together. We compared our costumes. Hers was more to the show, mine was more to the comics. I love finding other people cosplaying the same character as me so that we can compare and contrast, and I look at different interpretations. Hey,
Mhm.
how'd you make this? Hey, you look so great. One of the things I love about conventions. Um, and then, I got a lot of other great swag too. I saw my good friend Stewart Sager. You should
Mhm.
look him up. Just if you Google him, his stuff comes up. So Stewart
Oh,
lives
yes.
near me in
Yes.
this frame is gigantic because this is a poster, which is why it's awkwardly cut off. Like, I got the top of the picture, but not the top of the frame because I haven't hung this yet.
Glare there
Um,
too.
oh yeah, it's
But it's fine,
bad.
it's fine. I know who Stewart is. He's gonna be a guest on my show soon.
Yes, you're in for such a treat. So Stuart lives not that far away from me in the Indianapolis area, and so I
Oh.
am blessed to get to be at a bunch of the same shows as him. We work the same
Mhm.
shows. He gave me a lot of advice when I was first considering going into business, making art, and then I did my first show. I brought him my stuff, and he was like, "Crayley, you are underpricing yourself." I was just like,
Mm.
but I'm so scared if I raise the price. And he was like, no, it's good if you raise the price, people will pay for it because you're not paying yourself. I was like, okay, Stuart. So I have probably 30 different Stuart prints in my house, but this is my favorite one out of the ones that I bought.
It's a
Uh,
plethora.
it's from one of his comics. He,
Mhm.
in addition to doing stuff like cover art for The Walking Dead and storyboard art for Man of Steel, he also has several of his own publications. The ones I own are Shiver in the Dark. This is from a
Mhm.
different comic that I haven't read yet, but it's so beautiful. I bought the giant poster of it, and it's eventually going to go in my living room. So, also, that staff was really hard to carry around and I kept hitting people in the ankle. He let me leave it at his booth. I think he had
Mm.
ulterior motives though, because I think he wanted to get a closer look at it whenever he was in between customers. But he did let me leave my staff at his booth for a little bit. And then, you know, I bought some dice. I bought a lot of dice actually. So in my D&D game, I am a sorcerer, and one of my favorite attacks is Magic Missile, and it uses D4s. Well, once you get up to level 8, you need like level 8
Mhm.
casting. I'm my character is level 15 or 16 now.
Right.
You need so many little D4s.
Wow.
And they're never enough. I'm always like, let me re-roll it and then add one. Re-roll it, then add one. So I bought a bunch of individual D4s from people who hand cast resin die
Mhm.
and dice. And then again, this was just the lucky of lucky convention for me. I bought a Greg Horn print for
Mhm.
$5 from what he calls his box of shame, which was like, oh no, this one has a little bent corner. This one, the edge got cut a little crooked. I couldn't see a single thing wrong with anything in that box, but I
Mm.
got it for $5.
Even better.
And he hands me a ticket. And I'm like, what? Am I a ticket magnet this weekend? What is going on? He was having a raffle on the last day of the convention. If you were there, um, at 2 p.m. Then you showed up and he was giving away all kinds of free stuff. He gave away some free, like the bigger metal prints. He gave away a mystery pack of like books that have his art, and I won 2 free prints. So here's this one. What's funny about this one is one of his booth assistants remembered me. I have bought a fair amount of Greg Horn Phoenix specific art and
Pretty
X-Men
good
specific
stuff.
art. And he goes, "Oh, we have a Jean Grey one that you might not have to go with that Phoenix." He couldn't find it, and I
Ah,
don't do a lot of Jean Grey. I like the stories a lot better after she's Phoenix and Dark Phoenix.
mhm.
I might have still liked it, but it was okay with me that he couldn't find it, you know? And then, if you know me, this is Pikachu playing Pokemon Go with Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres above him, you know, with the Pokemon Go teams, their
Got
mascots are each of the
gotta catch 'em
legendary
all.
birds. And
Mhm.
so this one's hung up in my craft room where I make my Pokeballs. I
Wow.
have to show you what my costume was also for the
Mhm.
second day. When I talked to Greg Horn, maybe this is part of the reason I got the comic, but he does a lot of Emma Frost. He did cover art for like an entire Emma Frost series that was all about Emma Frost.
Oh, jeez. There you go.
So I was cowgirl Emma Frost.
Hmm.
Anyway, that
Very
was
impressive.
one of the highlights here. This is actually um a cosplay over 30 photo. I'm 29, but I got in it because Mark and Ruby were in it. And she was like,
It's
"Yeah,
okay.
in the photo."
It's an
Anyway,
exception.
make sure you let us know what the most recent convention was that you were in. Tell us in the
Mhm.
comments. We want to mention our sponsor really quick before we go. It is theradbear.com. I'm going to put it up on the screen in just a second. But if you use the code comics10 at theradbear.com, you get a discount and we get a little kickback. So let me get this photo off the screen because I skipped a step. Theradbear.com. Use code comics10. This has been a mini-sode for Comic Books, the New Class. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.